Well, you know what, man?
Oh man, I think I'll give it a bit of a welly at the end there. Might have clipped this little preamp thing that I'm using on the floor, but wow!
Welcome to Andertons TV. Special. This is a new thing we're trying.
Is this acoustic paradiso or guitar paradiso or a blend?
Well, that is why. That's what we're here to find out, I think, because this is the new Martin SC-13E from the Road series, that won Best in Show at NAMM.
Didn't it?
It
Best
did.
in Show at Crufts. It beat the favourite, the poodle.
Have you watched the film Best in Show? Have you watched that film?
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And we're not talking about Dog Show, of course. NAMM is the biggest musical instrument show of the year, of every year. And yes, as Pete said, Martin won the coveted Best in Show. And the reason Pete and I are doing this guitar rather than Ben is because I don't think this is an acoustic guitar aimed at a guy that has always, dreamed about owning a D28 or something like that, is it?
No, I think you're right. I think, and even the way that you kind of were playing it here at the end, I would think you were kind of playing it more like you would play an electric guitar. Am I right? Mm-hmm. It sounded a bit like to me you were trying to attack it like that because the guitar is built with a with the tapered neck and so nice and slim, and the action is great. It's got 11s on here from the factory, which means that it's a much more easy guitar to play if you are not used to playing acoustic guitars.
You can play it like a traditional acoustic guitar. If that's the approach that you want to take, here's a little clip of Ben playing the guitar. Ben is very much a traditional acoustic guitar player, and it sounds like this. Let's hear it played like a normal acoustic guitar.
Okay, so you want the microphone on the front of it, yeah?
I guess, yeah, that's a good idea.
So,
absolutely.
Because as we know, Martin has got, they just make guitars that sounds good anyway, so. And let me try to do some just. I mean, they got that Martin characteristics that you know, when we had Diane in here, when she just you do like a G chord. Yeah. And it just sounds like a Martin does, you know, as she says, like, that there's a Martin sound that'll build a box around it. So even though this guitar actually is, now we haven't even looked at the back yet, Lee, because that's where it starts getting to become interesting. This is a patent pending Sure-Align neck joint. So I don't know if I can explain it right.
Let's flip it back, because I think let's just. So
okay, you want to start with the.
Well, I just kind of think that we kind of. So that's like almost.
Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping ahead here.
Yeah, so I think our. What's the right word?
Perceivement.
Perception. Yeah, well, the feeling that we've had is that much as you pick this guitar up and it plays and sounds perfectly nice as an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I still think that the guys that are going to want to do finger picking or just go super traditional acoustic will probably find something else in the Martin range that they'll go, that's the one for me. However, and this is where I can, as Pete was saying, if you're an electric guitar player, and maybe something like the Fender Acoustasonic or the Taylor T5, you've sort of you've got, it's given you an itch. And you're going, oh, maybe that's my sort of gateway into the acoustic thing. But actually, what I really want is still something more acoustic-y, but as a crossover product. This is where I think this comes in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Right in,
I stole your lines.
No, it's fine. But it's right. That's exactly the point of this guitar. It's right in the middle of that the Dreadnought D18, and then your Acoustasonic. Which is or the T5, or there's been another couple of those. And then in the middle, there's not really been anything that's got that slim electric feeling neck, and that sort of you can go all the way up here, and it's not uncomfortable, But even for fingers picking.
Is that still the mic that I'm hearing now?
Yeah. I mean, so even for that, it's super easy to play. It's got the 1 3/4 inch radius here, or size of the neck, which means that there's enough room for your fingers to, if you got a little bit big.
It's like playing a marginally wider Strat neck, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
exactly. But the neck is then slim, which makes it feel like it's much easier to play.
Let's lose the mic. Let's lose the mic and just do everything now through the pickup.
Yeah.
So. Come on, Pete, you're the expert on this.
Okay,
Tell us about some of the specs that make this guitar very different to everything else in the Martin range.
If you notice, actually, the first thing I'm going to point out is if you look into the sound hole there's actually a brace. There's an X brace on the back of the guitar. Can you see that?
Wow. So they're bracing the back now as well as the front.
So that's a patent pending that works with this kind of shape and the way to get a better resonance for the electric and that kind of way on this shape. And then it's spruce top, and it's got this beautiful Koa. What do you call it? Like a veneer?
Yeah, Koa veneer.
So
stunning.
So as you can see, these two are different. So they will all be different. So it's a Koa veneer top on there, mahogany neck on here, which has got that sort of slim feel. And then, I mean, I don't know if you can see here, but the way that they cut this into the inlay it fits perfectly in there, right?
So it's a bolt-on neck.
Yeah, so it's a bolt-on neck. There's got the Martin Grover tuners up here. I don't know if you can see this. We might get a close-up on it. But if you look inside of the guitar, I'm not talking about the electrics just yet. If you look at here, where your normal adjustment with your Allen key would sit, there's a little shimmery-doo-dah.
It's about the size of one of those old-fashioned SCART sockets, isn't it, that go on computers.
And there's two little arms or legs or whatever you want on the other side. So what you can do is actually so the guitar's set up with this little shim in there. So your authorized Martin dealer can take this off, the neck off, with one key.
Yeah.
The neck comes off, the little shim comes out. So if you want to put, say, 12s on here, whatever, you have different sizes of neck shims you put in to angle the neck like that instead. So, you can get...
So you can get the action really low.
You can get the action really low.
Without it buzzing. Or you can go higher if that's the stylistically that you want to play.
Exactly. The construction-wise...
Oh, yeah, sorry, go on.
No, it's just as far as I could understand when we went to NAMM, it's Martin's built guitars for 200 years. Very traditional Dreadnought shapes and, OM shape orchestra models back in the 30s, and this is the newest this is the most innovative shape the Martin has built in, say, 200 years, according to themselves. But you're right to say, is there a guy that wants this guitar that doesn't go for that guitar or that guitar?
I think there is, and I think that's kind of, it's a stage guitar that you can certainly noodle a little bit more on.
Do you do that? Would you do that? I mean,
I do. When I pick up my... I am definitely an electric guitar player who owns an acoustic guitar, and when he picks it up, just doesn't, just plays the same stuff that I play on an electric guitar. So I probably am looking for something that's a little bit more... I think that's probably why I liked the Acoustasonic a lot, because it gives me that sort of sense that I don't have to change stylistically how I play. So what's the pickup system that's in it then?
The pickup system is a Fishman MXT, and cleverly they've put a little tuner in here as well, which I love this little...
So it's just an undersaddle
super duper simple.
Let's have a little listen. And you've just got a tone and a volume control, have you?
Tone and a volume control.
Exciter, isn't it?
And there's the tuner here, you click that, and then, and it just mutes the guitar. So...
That sounds great.
It does. So
have you got the exciter all the way up on
now
there? 'Cause it's very bright, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very bright. The first one here is, I believe, is the exciter.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's even brighter.
I think that sounds fantastic.
It's great, isn't it? So, you know, I play those kind of chords. I like those kind of chords, but so and then you got the volume, which I like to have full, but it's got that brightness, you know.
I think it sounds great.
It does. It's really easy to play.
The action on mine is basically the same action that I would have on an electric guitar.
Yeah.
It's just the strings are heavier, so obviously it's, you know, making it...
Well, they're 11s. You got 11s on your Les Paul, haven't you?
Yeah, but have I got... Yeah, I think... No, they feel... Maybe it's more the wound strings that feel heavier.
Yeah, because you get the wound G string there.
Yeah, the wound G,
but... It's you know, I think it sounds great. I mean... It's funny because when we looked at the Acoustic Sonic, of course, it's got all of this stuff built into it with all of the electrics and the different you know, images of the guitars, which Martin did dabble with in the Aura system, the Aura Plus, where you can go in and you take this old Martin D45 from 19 blah with an old £100,000 microphone, and then you blend that in. You know, this is none of that. This is just a straight in, plug in the back, 9-volt battery, under saddle, pick up, and then off you go, you know. And I think the guitar is what makes it the sound, you know?
I kind of like the fact as well, they're really not trying to appeal to the traditionalist here. Even the detail, look at the rosette and look at the 12th fret inlay. It's all using... You know, I mean, it's like this sparkly blue sort of mix of the sparkly blue and the pearl round the rosette.
Look at that.
The binding, the inner bit of the binding is in blue underneath the more traditional black and white sort of binding. And yeah, the sort of the center circle of the 12th fret is the same matching sparkle blue from the rosette. So everything here is about it's classy and kind of understated, but also in a contemporary way.
Yeah, and here's a little close up of this neck.
Oh yeah, that's so cool, man. I mean, many of you will be kind of thinking, you know, isn't the whole bolt-on neck thing a bit of a heresy when it comes to acoustic guitars?
It's still got a dovetail. It's still a dovetail inside it. Yeah, so it's a dovetail, sure, a line dovetail neck joint.
But that is the kind of, if you look inside most, well, I think all Taylor guitars, certainly most Taylor guitars, it's the same kind of concept. The neck is effectively bolted on, and it's very easy to remove. Yeah, it's called a mortise tenon joint, I think, where you can take most necks and fit it onto most neck joints. Yeah. And then, you know, you bolt it on with some IKEA dowels, and then a bolt on, you know, to hold it in. Where these have got the proper dovetail neck joints, which is like like that, and it has to fit in with the one guitar and that. So, you know, I'm really impressed with it, and it plays really nice, and acoustically, it sounds great. I mean, the shape, when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be slightly smaller, because it's got quite a big, sort of orchestra triple O kind of size. I think it's bigger than a double O. Do you know what this does? This looks more offset when you hold it up like that. Yeah. And then when you put it like that...
It looks great.
And you put your arm across it, it just looks like a normal sort of grand concert shape, but with a bigger scooped cutaway, doesn't it? Interesting. I mean, I've owned... All my playing was... I didn't bother miking up, so I'm plugged into... Actually, I've never used this before, but I'm plugged into what's called a T-Rex Soulmate.
Oh, I love that thing.
Maybe one will flash up on the screen now.
Yeah, let's hear you play it, because you're the more electric guitar player, you know. So let's have a.
So I've just got the reverb on from the Soulmate here. The Soulmate is like a little
pedal board.
A little pedal board, but just for acoustic guitar. I can put a little bit of delay on. It's got a bit of chorus. Compression, I've got them all on now. But anyway, so, and that's everything you're hearing is just the pickup plugged into the Soulmate and then straight into a DI. So I'm just going to turn everything off except for the reverb. But as you were saying, as I was doing at the beginning, that sort of they still haven't invented a guitar that makes you play the right notes, but they have invented a guitar where at least, if, you know, when you're up here, you play it's easier to play. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, you could be very, very difficult to be up round about the sort of the 15th, let alone the 17th fret.
Yeah.
So I suppose that a lot of it will be now about different artists pioneering almost a kind of like an electric guitar sound. You almost want to get back to you almost feel like Robert Johnson should have had one of these. Yeah. So that he could play his sort of Crossroads stuff and then sort of solo all up round here if he wanted to.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good, you know, it's a good thing to put right down in the middle of. I mean, another thing, did you notice it's actually 13 fret neck joint, not a 14 or 12.
Yeah, that's true.
It's right in between.
Everything about this is just a bit
all
new.
All very new. And you get one of these delicious
nice
cases.
Nice gig bag.
Yeah. Which is nice. Nice and shiny inside. And I don't know what else there's to say really about these. You know.
No, I mean, as I said, I think it's a bit of a, you know, you got to get your head around it. It's if you've got. What are these, like 1,500-ish, something like that?
Yeah.
So if you've got £1,500 to spend, you know, there's lots of beautiful acoustic guitars from America, from the UK. Yeah. And I think there's you know, you'll know in your own mind are you just looking, do you need to tick that very traditional Martin Dreadnought box first? Is that you? Perhaps you want a little OM or something you can sit on the sofa. My gut feeling is this is going to be, you'll know. If you're a performing a performing acoustic guitar musician, I think you'll naturally be drawn to this in a way that others might not.
Because that depends on what kind of music you perform. Let's say you are a singer-songwriter style and all you do is just sing. Do you want that old classic Dreadnought sound?
Have you got a Capo in?
I have
reach?
not got a Capo.
Actually, no.
Here.
Bizarrely. I thought you might have. I'm just wondering, you know, again, if you sort of went.
But there you go, yeah.
Like you played.
Love those Capos.
That's so much. I mean, maybe you could probably get away with a Capo on a 7th fret on a normal guitar, but could you get away with a Capo on the 12th fret on a normal guitar?
Yeah, because that's what everybody, they do that. Everybody does that.
Let's see.
You're kind of pushing it off there.
A little bit, yeah. It's
not long enough, is it?
No, the Capo itself doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
I think 10th fret is probably the maximum that this Capo will go on. But yeah, it's interesting. Look, I mean, great. I need to use Capos more.
It's you know, when I'm in studio, I would use the Capo a lot because you get like you can almost get a different dimension into the guitars. You know, it's like But you know what? I think they're great, and I would say if I was to tour, I could see myself using one of these guitars because it's very much a nice. If you play, let's say you play.
Shout out to G7. Still, that's the cleverest Capo
I love
I've
that
ever
Capo.
used. Anyway,
if you're playing live and you're playing electric sets a lot, and you swap from a Strat to Tele or whatever, and then you just want to swap to something that feels a little bit like an electric guitar. Boom.
Yeah.
It's great. And then you can take it on the tour bus and actually play, and it sounds great acoustic as well.
There we are. So that's the Martin SC-13E. It's currently the only guitar in the Martin range that has this neck join. Who knows what we'll see in the future.
Sure line.
But yeah, there you go. In stores now.
Okay, well there you are, Lee. Shall we jam out or something? Do you want to have a little...
I suppose.
We should do. You want to play some blues up here in G?
You want to play in...
How often do you play licks up here on an acoustic guitar?
Never.